Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn with Jason. Today on the show, we are going to be digging into something that, to be entirely honest with you, I've been kind of avoiding because it's all been very overwhelming to me. And that is digging into the world of AI agents. I feel like we've heard just about everything described as an AI agent these days, and the volume of discussion about it has kind of made me tired. But we're gonna try to dig through that today. We're gonna sort of try to demystify what the heck is an agent, why should we care, what do they allow us to do, and to do that, we are going to be talking to one of my favorite people, Dr. Sarah Guthals. Sarah, how you doing?
Good. I'm doing really well. The sun is shining super bright in Washington right now, so I'm happy.
That's good. Yeah, that's right. And as a fellow Pacific Northwesterner, we are in fact solar powered. So,
Yes, it is
so we're
true.
coming out of dormancy. It's time. We're back at it. Sun's
Yep,
out. We're actually moving around. I've
I love it.
gotten out of sweatpants. Like we're ready to rock.
Yep. I put on like a nice shirt today. I was like, wow.
Look at me go. So I'm thrilled to have you on the show. But for folks who aren't familiar with you and your work, do you want to give us a bit of a background?
Yeah, definitely. So I have had just kind of a wild ride of a career. I have all my degrees in computer science, but in grad school, I got to focus on education. And so every role I've ever done, I really just kind of focus on how can I bring together teaching other people how to leverage technology. And I say technology because it could be frameworks, tools, languages, whatever, to make something amazing that they're passionate about. So whether that's teaching kids how to code, whether that's being an engineering manager and helping, a team of engineers build tools for other engineers to leverage, whether that's being in DevRel, I've kind of done a bit of all of it. But that's kind of where my intersection and passion lie.
Love it. And so I mentioned this a little bit before I brought you up on the stage, but I've honestly been a little resistant to the idea of digging into agents and a lot of the technology and AI in general, because one of the things that I try to avoid uh, in my personal life and also on the show is this sort of like breathless pursuit of whatever the brand newest thing is. I always want to make sure that the things we're using have at least some utility, that we're not just learning for the sake of keeping up with whatever the trend is. And the pace of some of this AI stuff has been so fast that a little bit of it feels just like, I'm going to learn this and it's not going to be valid in 3 weeks. So like, why?
Yep.
It doesn't feel like it's time yet, right?
Yep.
But one of the words that has been sticky enough that I feel like it's time to dig into it a little bit is this idea of an AI agent.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I start digging into what an AI agent is, it kind of feels like it's just a magical word that describes everything that's happening in AI right now. So could you maybe just start by helping us demystify what
Yeah.
is an AI agent?
I kind of want to even take it a step higher
Please
if
do.
you'll allow me. So I've been lucky enough where I started my like computer science education journey before code.org, right? I was teaching kids how
Mm,
to code just like on the weekends while I was doing grad school. I was teaching teachers and kids how to use Minecraft to learn how to either code or just develop those problem solving skills that are useful within this
mhm.
industry before Microsoft acquired Minecraft, right? Like, and I'm not saying I'm, a hipster. I'm not saying it. I'm just kidding. But
We're
but
saying it. Don't worry.
but the fact that I use the word hipster, though, I mean, probably shows that I'm not. It's okay. I'm a nerd. But the reason I loved being in that space at the time was because like one of the very first papers I wrote was computing as the fourth R. Why every single person should know reading, writing, math, and some programming. Not because everyone should be a developer, but because in tomorrow's world, everyone will use technology in some way within their industry. I mean,
Mm,
if you go to farms nowadays, the IoT work within farms is incredible. It's beautiful.
right.
It's amazing, right? I was teaching foster students, and they were high schoolers. And one girl was like, I don't care about any of this that you're talking about. I was like, that's fine. I was like, what do you want to do when you get older? And she was like, I want to be a preschool teacher, which is why I don't care about this. And I was like, okay, well, what if some of your students don't know how to read and some of them are more advanced? Maybe you can make a very simple app for the advanced students to do on their own with headphones where they can click a word they don't know and it'll just say it out loud. Right. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Right. So it's not about when we see these trends, like when code.org first started, even I remember there was a lot of discourse around, does everyone need to know how to code? Really? Not everyone needs to know. Right. Now we kind of accept it a little bit. And then similarly, I got the opportunity to work at Microsoft and doing AI and data science and ML before the big boom. And it was the same thing. It was like, do computer scientists, do programmers, developers really need to know about this machine learning thing? Yeah, it could be cool for the advanced stuff, but like the everyday engineer, do we need to care? No, I don't know. And I got to kind of talk through that. So this new world of AI, I feel similarly in the sense of like, it's not about the fad. It's not about the excitement and just the buzzwords for me. For me, what it's about is what I love to see is another person who has a passion, who wants to build something and unlocking other possibilities for how they could help whatever part of human life they're looking to help. So yeah, we're going to get the like, I don't know, capitalistic ones, right? Of course we are. But as an example, there's actually, my grandfather has really severe dementia. And I'm responsible for my mom, my daughter, and my grandfather. So my mom helps my grandfather a ton. He forgets where he is all the time. He forgets who she is. He lives in her home. We don't have any outside help. So it's a lot of work for her. And when I came across this in particular, LiveKit and Twilio, what inspired this originally was, imagine if, first of all, the AI voice could not sound so robotic, right?
Sure.
But there's actually a cell phone that you can get for elderly family members that only allows them to call you, only accepts calls from you, and you can leave voicemails that if they call outside of normal hours, it'll be your recorded voice saying, hey, you're fine, you're at home, go back to sleep. And I was like, what if we could have an AI with a more familiar sounding voice, not so scary sounding, answer the phone and talk with the person and respond appropriately, right? Now, I think we're a little far off from that. I want to be cautious and recognize, AI in general is not perfect. It's built by humans. It has human biases, like, et cetera, et cetera. But then when he when he calls my mom to say, where am I? What's going on? Are you okay? The AI could say, Irene is upstairs. It's nighttime. They could say the actual time of day, right?
Sure.
It's, you're safe. Can you get back to sleep? And then if it escalates, right? If he's like, no, I'm not okay. It could decide, right? It could decide, do I need to call Irene and wake her up because he's not okay? Or, are there other strategies that have worked in the past? You could even then inform the AI about like things that have happened that day. You could say, hey, he went to a doctor's appointment today. He might be a little bit more afraid, right? Or he might forget he's got a bandage on his face and he shouldn't touch it. So if he wakes up in the middle of the night, remind him, you're okay, but you also have a bandage on your face. That's okay. Whatever it might be. So what is an agent? It's basically just a word that it's the same as we use the word app. Right? What is an app? It's software, right? An agent is basically software that is leveraging AI in some way to perform actions that are relevant to what task your users are trying to accomplish, is how I would describe it.
And so to try to contextualize that, when you say it's like an app, if I build, I'm working on my website and I like install a chat GPT, like live chat thing, that's not really an agent, right? That's just sort of I've added an API key to my app and it's sort of doing whatever it does. Where does it change from like I've created a direct line between my users and the LLM of choice, and I'm turning this from like just an open API key or an open AI key to an agent? Like what are we as developers adding to this that sort of causes the transformation?
So I want to say, Jason, I think you are a better person than a lot of people, because I would argue there are a lot of people out there right now saying that it's an AI agent, but really it's just an open AI key, right?
And that I think
That's the
is
concern.
why this has been such a hard thing to disambiguate, is because
Yes.
like if what you're doing is you've got an open AI key and it's a system prompt that says like you're a helpful assistant, that doesn't feel like an app to me. That doesn't
Right.
feel like you've created something. That just sort of feels like you wanted to add an LLM into your site. And I think
Exactly.
so this is sort of where for me I want to have, and I know that this is going to be a moving boundary, right? Because
Yeah.
the definitions are very human definitions, and everybody's going to say that their thing is whatever they believe it is. But I
Right.
think there is sort of a threshold that we can get to where, the same thing is like if I copy paste a Bootstrap template,
Yeah.
I'm using a Bootstrap template. Like I didn't build that
Build the app.
website. I sort of used that
Yeah.
template to get a website on the internet. And there is a threshold that you cross where you've customized it enough, or you've changed something, or you've done some amount of work to it that makes it yours. And now you're building a website, right? And where that threshold is subject to a ton of debate, because I
Yes.
believe if you write any code, you're a coder. And I think that, that is a very true thing. But I do think there's a difference between like, yeah, I wrote a couple lines of code to change this from blue to green, and I'm like a professional coder who's selling custom code to other people. And I think the agent thing is a similar feeling to me. Like at a certain point, you go from I told the chat GPT to talk like a pirate to I've added additional things on top of this that make it into something that it can't be with
Yep.
just an open AI key.
Yes. And I just tricked you into giving the definition. No. But I think that's exactly it, right? Like, and that's why, I have the privilege right now to be choosing where my next role is going to be. And a lot of people who are in that same place don't want to go into AI because of a lot of reasons, right? I won't get into all of them, but I do. And the reason I want to is exactly what you just described, Jason, which is I want our industry, the people in our industry, to recognize that these OpenAI keys or whatever one you're using are just another tool. It does
Right.
not replace the thought, the planning, the biases, the constraints of what you're trying to actually build and achieve and influence in terms of people. So, for example, the first version and the one that you'll see today is not, I would not consider what we're going to build today an AI agent necessarily yet.
Okay.
There's missing pieces to it. So, for example, what I described with the dementia case, I could just hook up an OpenAI key and have it answer and say, "Hi, what's your name? Okay, it's nighttime. Go back to sleep." Right?
Right.
But what I described was more than that, right? What I described was that the caregiver, the primary caregiver, could input additional information to say, here's some context, right? That it could maybe track the number of times that the dementia person is waking up in the middle of the night, how long it takes to do that. That information can then be leveraged by the caregiver at doctor's appointments to say, is there anything we can do to help them relax more at night? They're waking up more frequently. Or it could, track certain keywords that say pain, right? They're waking up with a headache in the middle of the night. I didn't know because by the time they wake up in the morning, they forgot, right? So things like that contextualized information is the piece that I think makes it an agent. It's that can it help humans achieve something beyond with the help of AI? just like we do with the help of mobile devices, just like we do with the help of any of these things, right?
Right.
So I think that to me is the difference between just plugging in AI and actually creating an agent.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me. And I think I'm following with you. And so let's talk through what we want to get done today. So
Yes.
you mentioned a couple tools. You mentioned LiveKit, you mentioned Twilio, and originally we were talking about it being an agent, but we're saying maybe now today we're not quite going to get to an agent. So I think we can talk about that once we get a little further down.
Yeah.
But maybe let's start with just a high level on like what is LiveKit?
Yes. Okay. So I discovered this. I mean, it's a platform. It's open source, first of all, which I love. I'm a big open source fan. And originally, it started as a platform dedicated towards building real time audio, video, and like data transfer experiences. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of needing to always rely on, StreamYard or YouTube or Twitch or whatever it is that you're using, you could like host this type of experience on your own
Okay.
very easily. It's actually incredible how simple it can be. And they have some like quick starts on that. But obviously, with the AI boom, like being able to support kind of then audio, video, audio visual interactions with an AI
Mm-hmm.
is where they kind of moved into. It allows you to have like this full control over your infrastructure so that you can make like apps that do video calls, live streaming, multiplayer connections. They have things with gaming, etc. And so what I liked about it is it wasn't just spawned out of AI, it was more spawned out of this part of developing applications, meaning, live streaming,
Sure.
multi-person live streaming, etc., is fairly locked down still. And how could we
Mm-hmm.
open that up so that more people can build more interesting experiences with relative ease? And the fact that it's open source on top of it is just
Right.
amazing. And uh, towards the end of last year, LiveKit and OpenAI did partnerships with basically LiveKit is like the same technology that powers ChatGPT's voice to voice.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So it's a fairly like it's open source. There's a lot of free stuff to start with, but it is really robust and used by just massive, massive, massive companies. So
Great.
yeah.
And then the other tool that we talked about using is Twilio. Now, I think Twilio is
Yes.
maybe a little bit better known, but just as in case anybody hasn't heard of it, let's maybe talk through what it does as well.
Yeah, so basically Twilio is like a software layer in between making phone calls or texts. So whether it's that you can think about it like whenever you call any company these days, you're going to be talking to a robot.
Mm-hmm.
That is the example of what Twilio would do, right? So you would make a call instead of just going to, a phone system where someone is literally recording things, you send it to an app that receives that call, it can understand, can like transfer you, et cetera, give you additional information.
And they can handle text messages. They can handle like the press
Phone
one to
calls.
go to
Yep,
sales, press two to go to whatever.
exactly.
Um, what else? They do all sorts of fun stuff.
They do.
I mean, these days they do far more than what we're talking about too. Like they're one of those tools that
Yes,
sort of become, there's probably
everything.
50 things that Twilio can do now.
Exactly. They could even like email on behalf. So if you call and then
Mm.
like it can email.
Oh, that's right. Because they bought SendGrid,
I don't even know.
Mailgun, one of them. They bought one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, transactional email.
Yeah. And then,
They have like an events platform. They have like all this kind of
yes.
low level developer infrastructure stuff.
And
Yeah.
because it's software, you can then kind of do anything, right? Like that's
Right.
like once the phone call or text message or whatever comes in, then you can go off and do whatever you want. So that's
SendGrid
what I
was
love
one like
about
that.
it. SendGrid, yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so we have a high level of what LiveKit is. We'll get deeper into that. We've got a high level of what Twilio is. Let's maybe call our shot on what we want to build today, and then we'll switch
Yes.
over and start building it. So what did you have in mind for like what are we attempting to get done today?
Yes. Okay. So today, what I would like us to do is we're going to build the very simple quote unquote agent. And right now, this quote unquote agent is just going to essentially be calling an OpenAI, you know, making an OpenAI call. And we're just going to have it be fairly simple, which is like, you know, be kind. Exactly what you said, right? Like we're basically just kind of pulling that in. But what I think is interesting, again, is not what AI can do, but how we can start to piece together all of the different pieces of technology to create something. And so this took me quite a while to figure out how, like, it seems very simple conceptually, which is you make a phone, like you set up a Twilio account, you make a phone call, Twilio receives it. Twilio knows what software to call. And that software is a Python file that will accept this incoming call from Twilio and then respond with, like, basically create this voice AI to then be on the other side of the call, to join the call.
So if I'm understanding the architecture today, what we're doing is we're gonna create a phone number in Twilio. When somebody calls that phone number, they will be connected to the Twilio like kind of route through the phone number that will drop their call into LiveKit, which will go back to OpenAI.
Yeah.
And then
So
OpenAI
actually,
is going to respond back to LiveKit and then back to Twilio.
Almost. So the phone
Okay.
call will join a LiveKit room.
Oh, okay.
And because remember, LiveKit was originally an audio and voice kind of platform, right? So it joins a room that triggers an agent that is powered by OpenAI to also then join the room, to which they can have a conversation in that room. They meaning the person joined via the phone and the AI.
Got it. So Twilio is basically acting as like a traffic controller, and then LiveKit is where all the work is happening.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, I understand. All right, cool. Yeah. So let's see. We've got about 70 minutes to do this. So I am very excited to dig in. Let's swap over here. First and foremost, let me direct everybody to Sarah's Blue Sky. You can go find a whole lot more information there.
And I have a full tutorial of this coming out. The only problem is my markdown is not properly converting to HTML for the headers. So it is done, it is written, but it'll be live soon, and I'll skeet about it or whatever the Blue Sky is.
I love that that's sticking. Okay, and then we're talking about LiveKit. I shared the link earlier, but I'll share it again just in case anybody didn't catch it the first time. So that's livekit.io. We're going to be using Twilio, which is twilio.com. And we are going to be working with OpenAI as our LLM today. Yes. So that's our suite of tools. And then before we get started, let me do just a quick shout out. This episode, like every episode, is being live captioned. If you head over to the Learn with Jason page on Code TV, you can see the past episodes and all of the live captioning for that. If you want to watch if you want to keep the live captions today, you can go to lwj.dev/captions, and that will take you right to our captions that are happening now with Vanessa, who's here from White Coat Captioning. Thank you so much, Vanessa. And these captions are made possible directly through your support to you who are watching. If you want to help make sure that we can keep these going and keep Code TV alive, you can become a supporter over here. Go to the support page, and somewhere starting at $5 a month, you can help us make more of this content, keep the live captioners on, make new programming, all the fun things that we do. So thank you very much to all of you for kicking in and making this show possible. With that, Sarah, if
All
we want to
right.
get started, what's the first thing we should do?
So why don't you click on try LiveKit right there in the top right, and then continue with whatever your preference is.
Okay, let's get in here and accept the terms of service. We'll save that so I remember how I got in there later. And app name. So this is going to be, do you have a name for this, or?
So I'm going to give you a little context in a minute, but you can call it like partner.
Okay. I'm going to tag it with LWJ so I remember that it was made on a show, but so it's called partner.
And then you can fill this out, and yeah.
It's not going to let me skip this, is it? Oh my God.
I think
what if I just hit submit?
I think it does.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of the reason why they want those, just a quick context, like is when they have those surveys, I know, you know, Jason, but in particular, like when it's open source projects, I like to fill them out, not on screen, but like I like to fill them out because it helps those open source projects understand like where they can continue to support the community. So if you're doing this at home and not on a live stream, I encourage you to do that.
Yes, it is always useful. Unless you work at a really large company, in which case you are guaranteeing that the sales team is going to reach out to you.
Yes, that. So as you can see, with just a couple clicks, you're already in LiveKit. They have some like guides. They have some playgrounds. You can even click on the OpenAI speech-to-speech playground, the third one. Yeah. And then, you'll need your key, so you might want to do that.
All right, let me turn off the screen for a second, put this key in.
You will need an OpenAI key, so if you haven't, I can throw that in the chat as well.
I've got one, yeah. Okay, so I am connected. Let me bring up the screen again. And okay, so now it says connect.
So when you do connect, this is now a room, basically. And those are the instructions that it gave to OpenAI. And you're connected voice to voice, right? Like it's listening to you. It can respond to you. It's got a transcript on the side. And this kind of just gives you all of the visuals of what you can do within the LiveKit API. So I really like this as just like a very simple playground to start to understand.
Okay, I'm trying to quickly put together all of the pieces here so that I can broadcast this through.
Yeah.
Let's see. And what does this mean? Okay, so this should be called.
And while you're doing that, if you want, I can explain some of the stuff on the screen.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
So on the configuration panel, you can see it's telling you which AI model it's using. It'll give you kind of transcripts, and you can decide like which, I guess model is the right word for the transcript. You can choose which voice you're using. It'll respond in voice, audio, text, or a combination of them. You can change the temperature. So like how warm, how friendly, how straightforward and just kind of logical it is. And then the turn detection is something that I really love. Turn detection with AI, voice AI, is when, you know, when you're like talking to ChatGPT and you have to, like, you're thinking and then you pause for a little bit too long and it starts to respond and you're like, no, wait, I wasn't done. And it's like very confusing.
Right.
Their turn detection is a little bit smarter than that in the sense that it can contextually understand kind of where you are in a sense. And then it'll continue on there.
Okay. So I just switched to where, are you getting doubled audio from me?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can fix this. So this is, how do I make this not? What if I put you into here and turn these off? Oh boy. Nothing but excitement. Let's see. How do I get these? No, that's not it. Let's see. How do I? You can still hear me right now?
Yes.
But it's doubled?
Yes. Correct.
I need to figure out how to get this. What about this? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can.
Still double.
But I can't hear you. Great. Damn it. How do I? Can I get you? Let's see. You go away, and then you go here. And this becomes the monitor. I want you gone. You go here. Now do I hear you?
Testing.
I still don't hear you. Damn it. Okay, how do I make this work? I didn't really think this through. I should have had. Let me see if I can get this to work. But now, can I hear you now?
Testing.
Nope. Can I hear you now?
Testing. Hello. Testing.
And you're getting doubled audio again.
Correct.
Damn it. Let's see. What if I do this? Okay, so we might be stuck where I don't have a way to
share the audio back.
To share the audio. Because I
think that's fine, because when I'll show a demo right now if you want. I'm not going to share this number just because I don't want the whole world to start calling it and then I get charged a ton.
Sure.
But I'll put this on speaker real quick. And one question was, does it support Spanish? Yes. So you can put in different language codes, especially since the back end, you're using the ChatGPT model, right? So yes, it'll support basically whatever ChatGPT supports. So this is the one that I built. The reason I call it partner is because so I live alone in the middle of the woods. My daughter lives with me, but for almost the entire summer, she's with her dad. And there's also just things that as an adult, I want to watch Yellow Jackets. I don't want my daughter to watch that. She's 7.
Sure. Yeah.
And it would just be nice to be able to talk to another adult about it, or watch it with them or whatever. Or just randomly, oh, it's super sunny out today, or the dogs are doing this funny thing. And so this sounds kind of depressing, but I was beyond the dementia case, because that one has a lot of implications if the AI says something wrong, right? What could I build that's less risky to start with? And so I thought about building this app called Partner. Well, I call it Pareja, which is Spanish, because I also wanted to start speaking Spanish more often. And the idea is when you're driving, you don't want to be connected to an app, but you could have a phone call going. Or if you're on a walk, again, a phone call somehow is easier. You've got headphones in and you can just kind of chat with someone, but not every time, your friends aren't always necessarily available at the same time. So what if you could have something you could call that would remember who you are, remember the context from before, and then also just chat with you about stuff, right?
Gotcha.
So this is my very simple one. Let's see. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi there. What's your name? I'd love to have a chat with.
Hey, it's Sarah. How's it going?
Hi, Sarah. I'm doing well, thank you. How about you? How's your day going?
Okay, so obviously it's very simple. You're chatting to an AI. It sounds obviously that you're chatting to an AI, but that was just calling a phone number. That's not an app. I'm not connected to the internet. I mean, my phone is connected to the internet, but I'm not using an app.
Yeah, it's like it's very standard dial a
It's
phone
just
number.
Yeah, and it just answers, right? And it's just easy. So that's what we're going to build today. So
Got it.
you can try out this playground if you want, but why don't we actually like get started on actually trying it out?
Yeah, it works for me.
So you've got your LiveKit cloud. This is what this view is. And we're going to create a project. So you should be able to go to, thank you. Let me think. I think it's under Sandbox. Yes, I think overview project.
So like I can create a Sandbox app, it looks like.
I'm trying to remember now. This is the one part that now I'm like, wait, how did I create this initial project?
There's the telephony. Is that?
No, this one I think is their new one where you can just call directly. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, that is how we're going to have Twilio connect in. Sorry, that's what it is. And this is where I always forget. It's at the very bottom. You already created the project, CLWJ partner. Mm-hmm. I always forget, by the way, that that's where their project list is. For some reason, that doesn't make sense for me, and I always miss it. So we already created the project. That's why I'm confused. So we're in the project now. We've got our overview, we've got our session, etc. You might want to do this off screen. You're going to go to settings and we're going to go to keys and we need to create a key and you're going to need to
so one doesn't exist. So I'll go here and
I guess it did exist. Sorry.
Oh, it did create one. All right. So I'll roll this key real quick and then we'll revoke.
And you're going to need your project name, your API key, your secret, etc.
Got it. Okay. So there was a key on screen, but there was not a secret visible. So let me get over here. Taking a couple quick notes off screen about which one is which. Let's see, this is the key.
Yes, the dogs are here. Oops, that's the wrong. Come here, Jack. Come. This is Jack. My camera is not easily movable, but this one's Jack. And Molly, come. Molly's under the desk, so she's coming around. Come here, Mama. Come here, Mama. Up. Oh, that's a Molly. Yeah. Okay. That's enough. Thank you. And there's a Ruby somewhere. Oh, here's a Ruby. Come here, Ruby. Yeah, I had locked the big pups out, but they snuck in, and this is Ruby. Yeah, there's 3 of them. I won't show you the 3 cats and the 5 chickens and the 2 axolotls and the snake right now, but
the 2 axolotls, like
yes.
Oh God damn it!
Oh no.
Okay, hold on while I revoke all of those and try again.
Oh, now the dog.
I was so careful. How happy is Vinny right now?
They're just, oh my gosh. Hi.
Okay, there's my environment variables.
Yes, 3 cats, 3 dogs, 5 chickens, 2 axolotls, and a snake. I think that's all of them. Oh, we just got a frog too. But my daughter just caught it randomly, and I'm like, I don't know how to take care of frogs, dude. So we're trying that right now as well.
Okay. So now I have a key and it's not still on screen.
Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to do some of the basic stuff. So we also have a LiveKit project URL. So if you go back to your settings and just under project.
I've got that.
Yep. So, and then there is an SIP URI as well.
Oh, so, okay. So
grab that one as well.
Okay. And what is SIP? Let's see. It has a little thing. Oh, just where the docs are.
See documentation. So SIP is Session Initiation Protocol. So it's basically the thing that will create the room. It's the thing that creates a session and allows when you connect to a room, it can help like initiate other things. It is often used with like the phone call integrations.
Got it. So project URL and the SIP. Do people say SIP?
I don't know. I say SIP, but maybe people say SIP.
I mean, I like saying sip. I'm just like,
Yeah.
they'll just get a little sip.
The sipiary.
Okay. Sipiary. Good. Okay. So
Okay.
we've got these. I've got my keys off screen here ready to go. I've got
Perfect.
my OpenAI key off screen ready to go.
Perfect.
So do we want to start here? Do we need Twilio stuff first?
Let's do Twilio stuff first.
Okay.
Just because then we'll have like everything we need to do anything. So we're going to head over to Twilio. You're going to go to console.twilio.com and create a new project.
Here we go. Twilio home.
And then at the
stuff.
At the top, account dashboard. Hang on, wait, where's the project?
Find a project.
There should be.
I know they're here. API keys.
My screenshot seems old. Hang on.
I know. I think this UI feels
They like
new.
just changed it. No, mine still shows it. Okay, that's what it is. Up at the top where it says your account, Jason at Langsdorf.com's account. Yeah, there you go. That's weird. Oh, okay. I guess a project is an account.
I'm in a very old system. So I should
create a new account. That's in my head, that's the project, because it's basically, think about it like an account is going to be, if you think about one of the most common ways people use Twilio is like a call center, for example, you want to have like one account for that call center business, right? And so it is kind of like a project in that sense. I don't know why they use the word account. If there's multiple users using this, does that mean multiple rooms get created? Yes. So every time, that's what the SIP does. Every time it gets an incoming connection request from Twilio, it creates a new room. So multiple people can call at the same time. My thought for making this an actual agent is that when the call gets connected to the room, we know what the incoming phone number is, not from Twilio, like not the Twilio number that you called, but the actual person's phone number. So then you would create just a very simple database that says, this is what I know about this phone number. And then you could say, like, every time someone calls from this number, instead of asking your name every time, it would say, oh, hey, Sarah, how's it going? Is it sunny again today?
Quick setup question.
Yes.
Are we hosting on Twilio or not? Okay.
No.
All right. So I'm in. I've got a new project. We got our 15 trial bucks.
Nice. So get the phone number.
Are they going to make me do the whole like verify that you exist thing?
I
got a Twilio phone number.
Oh,
guess not.
And just make sure you delete this afterwards.
Yeah.
So that you don't get charged for things. Okay. So now you've got a phone number, and we need to keep track of your phone number, your account SID, and your Twilio auth token. So those three things you need. I think under phone numbers, manage and active. There we should be able to find all of this information. So we'll do that stuff in a minute, but
I know it's right here. Properties.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah,
so there's your phone number SID, and then we also need your Twilio auth token, which I think is going to be
which I can grab in a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me Twilio SID is going to be this one that I just grabbed. Whoops.
Yep.
You like that. And then also, I'm just going to grab the number so that I have it.
Perfect.
And then we need to get...
make sure you take it off screen before
take it off screen.
I think it's going to be over on the right side, top right. because it's the full Twilio one.
The full Twilio, or is it admin? Twilio
So
admin?
I
No,
think
that's not
under
it. User settings.
organization accounts.
That's not right. Twilio home. I know you're here. I've seen you before.
And you know what? We need the account SID. So if you go to admin, which is admin.twilio.com.
Ah, here we go. I just had to scroll down because I'm
Okay.
not through the. So here's our account SID.
Yes, and then your token.
So we don't need the phone number SID.
Correct.
Okay, so account SID is going to replace that one, and then I need to get this. Or wait, I can just copy this without showing it. Yes. Okay. So Twilio auth token. Thank you, Twilio, for making that invisible by default because there are Vinnies around. And then Twilio phone number, I have already.
Yes.
Yes.
And those are the three things we need
I'm
from
just
there.
gonna copy that format because I have a hunch they use it that way. Okay. So now I've got those three pieces.
Perfect.
Okay, so I have an OpenAI key. I have my LiveKit URL. I have an API key and secret from LiveKit, and I have the SIP.
Yes.
From Twilio, I have an account SID. I have the auth token, and I have my number.
Perfect.
Okay.
Those are all the things that you need. The question about the scaling, this is somewhat dependent. So I think Twilio does help with some, like just the ability to have multiple people make the calls, but the scaling is also how many rooms are being created. So that's happening on LiveKit as well.
So it's kind of a bound thing. Like Twilio, probably Twilio is not going to be your bottleneck. They just operate at too large a scale.
Yes. It's going to likely be LiveKit and what you want to kind of set up there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Great.
So next, what we're going to do is we're going to create, and I don't know how other people pronounce this, but a TwyML bin, Twiml. I don't know. It's like a Twilio ML bin. And basically what this is a lightweight serverless endpoint. So it's just going to allow us to handle that incoming call or message and then send somewhere else without needing to have like a full backend server. So to do this, you can.
If somebody's hitting the trial endpoint, please stop so that this demo works. Sorry, where did you want me to go?
Yes, so you can just search in the top bar where it says jump to TwyML bins.
Bin.
You might need to do create.
Oh, there we go.
TwyML bin. Perfect. So we're going to create one. You'll give it a name. And then the XML code is very simple. I'm going to send it to you in a private chat.
Oh, I can kind of see it's like got the
very easy.
You say response and then it's a say. And okay, I'm with you.
Yep.
So I'm going into the private chat to grab this code.
And you'll replace your SIP with your phone number and SIP there. So you can see all it's going to do is when this bin is hit, a response will happen where it will dial to this session initiation protocol, sending in a username and password. That is something that you set. So whatever you want. This was something I will say, maybe I'm dumb and that's okay. It took me forever to figure out what this username and password should be until I finally realized it is whatever you want it to be. So then your SIP should be the phone number and then your SIP URI from LiveKit. So the phone number is from Twilio.
It's already got an SIP there.
Yeah, so you leave.
So do I drop the SIP off here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the username and password is whatever we want.
Whatever you want.
What we would want this to be is something that's hard to guess so that in the future people aren't like making a big mess out of our like hitting this directly. But for now we can just say like test and test.
Yes. And so this is going to be where like you don't want people to be able to join the room unless they're coming from this Twilio phone number, basically, or create a room rather, right? And so that's why we have a username and password. You don't have to have a username and password. You could leave it open, but then if somebody gets your SIP URI, then they can kind of join whenever they want.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So then click save, and we should be good. And you can see just real quick, it says valid voice TwyML at the bottom of your code block. So you always want to make sure it says that. You know, if it doesn't, check to see what you've done and go back. Okay. So now we're going to make sure that our phone number is actually attached to this bin. Remember, this is just basically a serverless entry point. So we want to make sure that our phone number is attached. So go back to phone numbers on the left. Yeah. And manage and active, and then click on the number. And then this is where we're going to set this configure. So it's set to a bin, set the bin.
One thing I do have to give Twilio props for is that they're very good at making this part intuitive.
Easy.
Like
yes.
I have not ever used a Twiml bin. Twiml. I like Twiml. I'm going to say it that way.
Ooh,
I've never
like
used
that.
a Twiml bin before. But I just was able to like intuit that was how that was going to work.
Exactly. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. Then we're going to just go to the configure tab. Okay, we're still there.
Do I have to hit
Perfect.
save somewhere? Yeah. Here
Oh,
we go.
yes,
Save.
at the bottom.
We're not using the messaging.
No.
Okay, so now I'm going to configure.
Which I think we were on. And we just want to make sure that, yep, routing is active, that you've configured with that one and it's connected to your bin, and the rest of the settings are good. So we should be good.
Okay.
And now if you go back to active numbers.
Just to all active numbers.
Yeah, just because then see under
Oh,
active configuration, it shows that it's connected. So that's really all you need to do to make it connected.
And so I'm this note I just saw, this makes it look like it's not going to work, but we can call the number, but the number can't go out. So this is like an anti-spam verification. And since we're not doing any outgoing, it won't matter.
Correct.
But so if I call this now, it will connect to LiveKit, but it won't do anything because we haven't set up anything on LiveKit.
Correct. You can try it. I don't know exactly what it'll happen.
Let's find out what happens, because
I think you just join a room that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to.
Or it might just ring. It won't talk to you yet because we haven't told LiveKit about OpenAI yet.
You have a trial account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press any key to execute your code.
That's just Twilio.
Oh, that's just okay.
That was just Twilio. Well, yeah.
So that's Twilio letting me know that I am definitely not paying for this.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
One thing real quick. If you go back to your Twiml bin.
Twiml.
Which you might, you might have to go.
No, that's not it.
This is an app. I know.
Again.
Once you search for it again, don't click on create this time. Just go to bins, and then you can kind of add those on the left-hand side. You don't have to, but okay.
Oh yeah, you can just like pin this.
Yeah, exactly. Before and after the dial, if for some reason something's not working, one debugging tip just for you all is that you can put in a say command, just like it shows kind of on the side. Yeah. So say, and then I would say like connecting you to an agent now or whatever. This is going to be on the Twilio side, but when I was debugging, this was super useful for me to be able to just know whether it was Twilio that was having a problem or it was LiveKit or something else. Yeah.
Get you that really helpful, like when you get through an automated system and you're like, you think you're getting somewhere and it's like, goodbye. And then it just hangs up on you like, cool,
exactly.
Thanks.
Exactly. And if we do this right, or I mean, right is dependent on how you want your application, but right, for my opinion, is you would hang up before that goodbye would ever happen. But yes, if for some reason
we were to close the LiveKit connection,
room, exactly, it'll come back and then say goodbye.
And the nice thing about this is we know if we get here, we technically broke something for the design that we have for this app.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So that's why I just, and then you can always take those out if and whenever you want.
Yeah. Once we feel like we're confident it's working, we remove this is our console log, basically.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, with you.
All right. Are we ready to write some code?
I'm so ready.
All right. So go ahead and open up whatever code, editor you want to use. And the first thing that we're going to do is off screen, you're going to create, we'll create like a folder,
Yeah, let's set up the project. So I'm going to go into GitHub, learn with Jason, and then we're going to, do you want me to use a specific framework or anything for this?
It's going to be Python, but it's going to be real. It's literally like one file.
Well, how do you check the version of Python? Because this could be very funny.
Good question. I think if you just type in Python 3.
Python 3.
And then, -v.
Ooh, what was that? What did that just do? Oh, it did so much. Okay, so oh God. Help.
Oh, so you are in. So now, you can just get out now. Yeah, so you do have Python.
Good. Okay. All right. I have Python, so I'm going to make a new directory. We're going to
Yes.
We'll go LiveKit Twilio.
And you're going to create a .env, and I'll send you each, basically the easy way to do this is, and I've put these, you can copy and paste these from our private chat because it doesn't have any codes in there yet. And then you can go off screen and replace all of those.
So here is. Oh, okay. All right. So we've got this. Oh, no. Don't be like that. Gotta get through all of these. And then one more for the LiveKit stuff.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. This is a StreamYard shortcoming where they don't allow any line breaks. Okay, so So
while you're copying and pasting those, basically what is in this env file is you've got your Twilio account SID, your Twilio auth token, your Twilio phone number. So those were the 3 things that we grabbed from Twilio earlier. Then you have your TWIML username and password. Those are the ones that we just set to test, but you can make it whatever you want. Then we have our LiveKit URL. That's the one that starts with WSS. We have our LiveKit SIP URI, which is the one that starts with SIP. And then we have our LiveKit API key and our LiveKit secret. So 3 kind of secret-y things from Twilio, 2 of the username and password, and then 4 things from LiveKit.
Got it. And I'm just slowly copy pasting all of these things out. You know what I don't have in here is an OpenAI key. Do I need to worry about that?
You do not, because we're going to set that in. No, because when you created the project in LiveKit, you put in your OpenAI key then. So LiveKit,
so it's already on LiveKit.
Correct. And that's what's nice about using the LiveKit cloud, in my opinion, is that it's handling a lot of that configuration for you, knowing that you are likely trying to create an agent that will connect via voice or video or messaging. You can, again, LiveKit is open source, so you can also just do this, however you want.
Got it. Okay, so my .env is in here. It's
perfect.
It's set. Let me make the screen a little bit bigger here. And then if I make a new file, that file should be called what?
Let's make requirements.txt. And we just have 3 requirements. I put them in the chat, but it's going to be LiveKit-API and .env, the word dot.
Oh,
so
the library.env. I got it.
And then Twilio. And that's it.
And is this like the Python equivalent of a node JSON or a package JSON?
Yes.
Fascinating. Okay.
Yeah. So you just save that, and we'll do that in a minute. Okay. So now we're going to create a new file called inbound_trunk.py.
Okay.
All right.
Inbound underscore trunk.py.
Yes,
Do I want
sir.
to recommend? I probably do, because we probably want
Might as well.
like
Yeah.
language highlighting and stuff so that I can see what the
Exactly.
heck is going on.
Yep.
This was sneaky. I didn't realize that I was going to be writing
Gonna
Python
learn
today.
some Python. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? So when we're thinking about AI agents, again, the agent itself is like a backend piece of software, right?
Mhm.
It's you're not necessarily like you're deploying access to an agent, right? And so anything that you write around it, yeah, you can, like, one idea that I had is that you could actually talk to an agent on my website and be like, tell me about Sarah, right? And I'm actually building
Right.
that right now as well once I get the blog to render properly. But anyways, okay. So this is our inbound trunk. So what this means is when Twilio is calling us, or sorry, when you call the phone number and the TWIML bin connects to LiveKit, and thank you, Vinny, yeah, Twilio markup language. When that connects to LiveKit, it's going to make a call to this main function. Okay?
Got it. Okay,
so
great.
The first thing that you're going to need is some imports. So we're going to import async IO.
And is this
all one word?
Quoted or anything like that?
Nope, no quotes. Yep.
Like that?
And so, yep. And so this is just input, output, being able to do it async. Import OS. And this is because we're going to need to be able to get the environment variables. So that's what allows us to do that. And then from LiveKit, import API. And this is just the API. And then from .env, the word, import load underscore .env. Dot in front of env after load underscore. Yeah, right there.
Like,
Yep.
right.
Yep, perfect. And so this is just being able to, where are we using? Oh yeah, this is just actually loading the environment variables into our running space, basically. Okay, so
this was a big miss by JavaScript. Like, why didn't we do this? This makes so much more sense.
Yeah. This could
have been us.
I know. I'm more of a back-end person, so front-end stuff confuses me a lot, to be honest. Like choices made. Okay. This whole entire file, this is going to be one function, and it's fairly simple. So it's an async function. So we're going to write async space def. Sorry, just def, because
well, look at me go. Look at me already getting it wrong. Okay.
You're fine. And then main with open, close parentheses, and then a colon with no space. Yep.
Because we don't use curly braces in Python because y'all are sociopaths.
Yes. And we also don't have types here, which is why we're just saying define. We're defining main. Okay. Right? Just like we would define any other variable.
Got it. Okay.
So the first thing that we're going to do is call load.env underscore. Yep. And yep, parentheses. Perfect. And then no semicolons, and just make sure you got your tabs correct. All right. The next thing that we're going to do, the next thing that we're going to do is create an instance of the LiveKit API. And LiveKit will automatically read in environment variables, which is why we set them the way that we did. So you're going to create a new thing, LiveKit underscore API. And that's going to equal API dot, and then capital L, capital K LiveKit. So the word LiveKit, but yep. All caps API.
Like and then dot or?
Nope. Yep. And then open, close parentheses. Yep. So we're just creating a new LiveKit API so that we can communicate with it.
Okay.
And then now we're going to create an inbound trunk object. And this one is basically going to be the thing that's connecting the TWIML bin to LiveKit. And so we'll call this, that's fine. Inbound trunk equals API dot.
Equals API dot.
And then
the LiveKit API that we just created or
this is going, yes, that's the, sorry. Yeah, you're right. LiveKit API. Sorry. Yep. And then I sent in the private chat just to get the capitalization correct, but it's an SIP inbound trunk info. So basically we're connecting to the LiveKit API and we're saying this is, and then you put a T instead of a D on inbound. Yep.
Is this a curly
we're going to have
round boy?
Round, but we're going to have four parameters. So you can enter if you want, and it'll automatically tab in for you. Perfect. We're going to have name. You can name this anything you want. So name equals, and then double quote, whatever you want. I called mine LiveKit to Twilio trunk, but you can call it whatever you want.
Like with spaces and stuff?
With spaces is fine. Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to have an auth underscore username.
You do still use commas between
parameters
here,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Not totally crazy.
I mean, listen,
auth
you
underscore
Python folks
username.
are off the rails here.
I know. Honestly, to be fair, I come from a Java originally background, so Python sometimes even wonks me out. But and then you're going to do os.getEnv and then exactly how we wrote it. Yep. Because that's how we have it there. And you forgot an E in username.
Username.
The other one.
Username. Okay. Perfect. And then the other one is the password.
The password. And then the last one that we're doing is enabling crisp. And
you capitalize your booleans in Python.
Yes.
Okay.
Crisp is just noise cancellation, so it just helps to make sure that you're getting a little less dog noise as we're getting on this now. Perfect. Okay, so that is going to create the inbound trunk, and notice that we had used the SIP URI in the TWIML bin with the username and password. We are connecting to that same SIP through this project, and so we just make sure we have the username and password in here as well. Okay.
Got it.
The next thing that we're going to do is to create a request object with the inbound trunk. And so this is basically making sure that we can request that like an agent is going to join this call as well. So request equals, and I'm going to send it to you again because of capitalization, but it's API dot, and then it's create SIP inbound trunk request. Very explanatory.
So this is our LiveKit API.
Yes.
And it was create SIP. What was the rest of it?
Inbound trunk request.
Like that?
Yes. And we have one parameter here.
Okay.
It's going to be trunk equals, and then it's your inbound trunk. Yep.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense to me.
Perfect.
Look at me, I'm a Python pro.
You're doing great. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually create the inbound trunk with LiveKit. So this is I had it just kind of almost like replacing my inbound trunk. Yeah,
like
exactly.
This?
Yeah. Because basically first we just needed the info, and then we're creating the request, and then now we're actually creating the real trunk. So maybe it would have been better, instead of calling it trunk, we called it like inbound trunk info.
Like
yeah,
that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to do an await, because we need to make sure this connects before we continue. And it's going to be your LiveKit API dot SIP, all lowercase this time.
Oh, okay.
This is one thing about LiveKit, and something that I want to like see if I can help them with. Their like docs and stuff, and their API is not always consistent. So .sip and then dot, and then this is going to be all lowercase with underscores. Okay. SIP underscore create. Sorry, not SIP. I messed up. I forgot that was the dot. Sorry. Create underscore SIP underscore inbound underscore trunk. And that's where we pass in the request as a parameter.
Got it.
All right. And then that's going to basically send out a request to any of the agents that are connected to your LiveKit and enabling them to join this room. And then before you end anything, always make sure you close it. So then we're going to do await and then LiveKit underscore API dot a close, no space. Yep. And then CLO. Yep. And then 2 parentheses. So that's API close.
It's an Italian.
A close. Exactly. Exactly. And then all we're going to do is we're going to run this. And so in Python at the very bottom, not tabbed in, we're going to say async IO because we want to run it asynchronously, .run, and then pass in main with the parentheses within main as well. Yes, like exactly. That. Yep. Perfect. Okay. So this will ideally actually call in when you make a call, you'll join, it'll create a room for you. And then the phone number from Twilio will be connected to this room. And so the only thing we're missing now is to add in the agent, and we're almost done. So let's save this file, and then we're going to create one new file, and this one's going to be called dispatchrule.py.
Dispatchrule.py.
Yep.
Like that with an underscore?
Yep.
Okay.
And then this one, we have the same imports. So import async.
I can just copy them.
Exactly.
No! Nobody do anything bad with that for just the rest of this demo, and then I gotta go roll all these keys. Okay, are we doing main again?
Yep, you're doing async def main. Yep, colon.
Okay.
Don't forget your colon.
Colon. Right.
And then you're going to do load underscore dot env again. The word dot in front of it.
Load dot env. Yeah. Oh, right. Dot env.
And then you're going to do another LiveKit API. So whatever you want to call it, LiveKit
so I can
API.
probably just copy that out, right?
Yep, exactly.
Not open my. So close to getting through all these API keys without blowing my cover here. Okay.
Yep. All right. Next is we're going to create an SIP dispatch rule object. And so what this means is it's going to request a private or individual room for each call. And we're going to prefix that room with the call to indicate that it's like a call, not just like if you're using LiveKit for a bunch of other stuff like apps. So we want to make sure we know this one's for a call. So we're going to call it, let's call it rule equals LiveKit underscore API dot, and then capitalized SIP, capital D for dispatch, and then capital R for rule. Yep. And then open the parentheses, and we're going to send in a all lowercase dispatch underscore rule underscore individual. So we're saying this is an individual room. We want it to be a private room. We don't want other people to join. And that's going to equal API dot, I don't love this API. LiveKit API dot, all caps SIP, capital dispatch, capital rule, capital individual. And we're going to pass in one more parameter to that one that says room underscore prefix equals, and then in quotes, call dash. Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Great. So that's creating that dispatch rule. Nope. Next, we're going to actually create the room agent. So we're going to say agent equals, and we're going to call API dot capital room, capital agent, capital dispatch. And we're going to pass in one parameter, and it's going to be agent underscore name equals, and then in quotes, I called mine inbound agent. meaning someone is calling us. So, yep. And that's all we need for that one.
Okay.
Then we're going to actually configure the room to add the agent to it. Okay. So for that, we're going to, I called it room_config equals API or LiveKit API dot capital room, capital configuration. And we're going to pass in one parameter, which is agents with an S. And it's going to be an array, so square bracket, and just our one agent. Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Next, we're going to create the request with the rule and room configuration. So our request is going to equal LiveKit API dot capital create, all caps SIP, capital dispatch, capital rule, capital request. And we're going to pass in two parameters, rule equals rule, and room config equals room config. Yep.
And so Python doesn't do the like shorthand expansion for stuff like this?
No. All right.
Okay. So
then we're
going
to create the actual SIP dispatch rule with LiveKit. Like we're going to register it basically. Hey, Brian. So this is dispatch equals await. And you're going to do your LiveKit API dot SIP dot, or sorry, lowercase. That we're, yeah. Dot create underscore SIP underscore dispatch underscore rule with the parameter request. And then we're going to await LiveKit.API.aClose for when we're done. And then you're going to run the main function not tabbed in. So it's going to be asyncio.run and then with main with the parentheses. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You don't have to do anything with this dispatch?
Nope, because you're just awaiting it. It's just going and then you close the whole entire API. So you're good.
Nice.
All
nice,
right. Nice. Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Okay, so I have an inbound trunk, right? And that is setting up the Twilio trunk, which gets us connected to the SIP.
Yeah.
And then we have when somebody actually connects, we are
creating the
actual
up with
this room and hooking them into an agent.
Exactly.
Okay. And now we need to design the agent.
Well,
we're not designing the agent.
Yeah, right now we're just gonna have it be hang on, where are we? Oh wait, what did I do? Hang on.
Like, do we have to do anything in here to say like, hey, when you get a call, you're...
Yes, we do. Make sure you have your dispatch roles. Okay. Yep. Okay. So this is where we're going to need our API key. I just realized we're totally running out of time. But we can do this.
We're going to get here.
We can do this. Okay. So we need, let's create like a different folder for in your VS Code or wherever. Yeah. VS Code. Let's create another folder. Because this is where our agent's going to actually be.
Okay.
And let's create a file.env. And the ones that you're going to need are these ones.
Okay, let me just pull this off screen for a second so that I can do all of these bits. The LiveKit API keys and the Open API key. I got it.
And yeah, the ones that he is adding in there are the LiveKit URL, the LiveKit API key, the LiveKit API secret, and the Open AI key.
Open AI API key is what you call that. Okay, LiveKit API secret, API key, URL, got all those. Saved, closed. Definitely not going to show these to anybody. Being very good with our security today. All right, so I've got that .env created.
Yes. Now we're going to create an instructions.txt. And this is what I gave mine. You can just copy and paste it for now if you want.
Will do.
Basically, it says you're helpful. You are talking to an adult who lives alone. Tier, and they'll call you to chat about your day. You should like reference things, etc. Okay, now we're going to create the agent.py file, and I think we could do this fast. So I'm going to send you all of the imports, and as you're kind of copying and pasting and new lining, I'll describe them. So we are going to get annotations is, why are we using annotations again? I can't remember exactly why we're using that one. I think that one's for actually like reading things in. OS and logging. Logging is just so then that way we can log what's happening with the agent. OS is for reading in the .env. We've got the LiveKit RTC, which is, where are we using that one? Import RTC.
And RTC is like for the real-time stuff. Like that's
I'm trying to, there it is. Wait, no, that's not it. Anyways, we'll find it when we get down there. And then we're bringing in all of the agent stuff. So auto subscribing, meaning it's automatically going to join into the room, get that context, be able to talk to the CLI, be able to connect with an LLM, where it's a multimodal agent for this case because we want to do voice and text potentially. We're going to bring in the OpenAI plugin and then of course .env. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to load .env. Actually, we don't need that yet.
Oh, we don't need it. Okay.
Not yet. We're going to load the environment variable. So load.env. Yep. And then I'm just going to send you some logging code just to make sure. This is just useful. So you initialize the logger with the agent, and then we also are going to open the instructions.txt and read that information in. And I like to log that just so that we kind of know where we're at. So instructions.log, exactly. Now you're going to do something slightly different. This one, it's async def, but we're going to have main entry instead of just main, and we're going to provide the parameter CTX, which is context, and job context.
Like that? Or?
Job context, capital J, and then the actual word context with a capital C, no underscore. Yep,
got it.
Perfect.
Okay.
And CTX is actually colon, so we're saying that the CTX parameter is
like
job
CTX
context.
is a job, so that's a type.
Exactly.
Got
it. Okay. We're going to log a little bit and then also make sure that we have our OpenAI API key and our LiveKit API key.
Okay.
And then we want to actually join a LiveKit room with audio only. And then we want to don't do anything until we have a participant join. Yep. And these should all be tabbed in, which is why you're getting the error.
Oh,
so
right, because we're inside of our function that we're,
yes, sir.
Right, I understand.
Perfect. All right, next, what we're going to do is we're going to actually set up our OpenAI real-time model. So that's this stuff right here. So AI model is just going to be an OpenAI. This is all just OpenAI stuff, but we're going to send in the instructions. I chose Shimmer, 0.8, audio, and text, and I sent in my key.
Okay.
We're going to create our multimodal assistant with LiveKit. So it's going to be an AI model, and it's going to start in the context of that room or in the room from that context. Okay. Then we're going to actually initialize the session and create the session and the conversation. So the session instance should be your AI model is like knowing that it's a new session. The conversation should basically be an LLM chat. It's a user, and it's just going to be begin the interaction that's consistent with the instructions that we sent. And then we call create, and create session.instance create is on a new line. Yep, perfect.
Okay.
And then the last thing we need to do, and then we'll actually test this out, is say join. So if we are going to call main, like if main was
in or
called,
out of the function?
This is out of the function.
Okay.
If main is called, meaning that we've done all the dispatch stuff, then we want to actually add the agent to the room, basically. Yep.
Okay. Like that?
Yes, sir. Looks good. Okay, you ready?
Okay. I'm so
Save
ready.
your files and let's open up a terminal. And in your higher level one, which is this one here, I think, where are we? Yeah, so we're not in the agent one yet, right? Okay, perfect. So we're going to make sure that we're just running the one that's going to create the room first. So to do that, we need to do Python 3. Hang on, let me grab it for you so that we do it right the first time. Where are you? Where are you? Create simple. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Python 3-m venv.
Okay.
And then you're going to start that environment. So in Python, we create a virtual environment. So then that way we're not installing things on your computer. We're just installing them within this virtual environment. And then it should now say virtual environment, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. So now, stop. Yeah, so now you see how it's...
VN.
Yep.
Yes,
perfect.
okay, so I see the VN.
Yep, so now we're going to do pip install -r requirements.txt.
Okay.
Cool. And then we're going to run our inbound trunk. So we're going to basically make sure that LiveKit knows about this trunk, like these instructions. So we're going to run those. Oh,
Did I type out stip inbound trunk info?
LiveKit.api. Hang on, that should be working. SIP inbound trunk info. SIP inbound trunk info. That should be right. Hang on. LiveKit API. Sorry, that actually should be API, not LiveKit API, because we're actually, if you look up at the input or the imports, we're importing API from LiveKit. Also, that's separate from creating the LiveKit API. It's a little bit of a mess.
Got it. Okay.
Also on your request,
just double checking.
Yep, that request should also just be API, but then your other ones should be LiveKit.
This one should be LiveKit.
Yes.
And this one should be LiveKit.
Correct.
Okay, let's try it again.
Cool.
Okay, so no errors, I assume means it worked.
Correct. And then we can do the same thing for our dispatch rule, which we will probably have the same error, and I'll help you figure out which one's which.
Okay, so let's hop in here.
Yep. So the rule equals should be API.
This should be API.
Yep.
That should be API.
Yep.
This should be API. This one should be API, and this one should be API, but then this one is LiveKit API.
Yes. The last two. So those last two should be, yep, perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a try. Awesome.
No errors because we are Python geniuses.
Yes. Okay, now now what we can do is we can I think we can do this. Can you CD into agents inside of the virtual environment? Yeah, perfect. Let's do a pip install -r requirements.txt here.
We didn't write our requirements, so I just need to copy the same ones.
I thought we did. In
we don't have
agent?
it in the agent. No.
Oh,
I just
sorry
have the
about that.
instructions. Is it the same one though?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Cool. And then, which they should have already been there anyways, but that's okay. So now we're going to run Python 3 agent.py dev.
Like that?
Yep. All right, let's try it.
No.
Oh no. What is it? What is it? import.
Oh,
What?
I didn't get one of the things. This one.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Work. No, what?
From
What?
LiveKit,
Import RTC.
RTC.
Don't tell me they changed it since I did that. From LiveKit, import RTC.
We didn't use RTC either.
You try to remove it. I thought, I think we might still need it. Yeah, we do.
No module named LiveKit agents.
Don't tell me they it's still working for me, so this couldn't have been changed.
Am I on like a brand spanking new version?
No. Can I see your requirements.txt real quick?
Yeah.
We forgot. Wait, we're missing one. What are we missing? OpenAI. We're missing OpenAI. Let's save that. Let's run pip again. And then now let's try maybe. It might be that.
Cannot import RTC from LiveKit. Is it from OpenAI?
It's not, but I was just wondering if maybe that was dependent on an OpenAI one. Can you, this doesn't make any sense, but could you put a new line in between import logging and from? I don't like, it should not matter. Yeah, right there. That does not make any sense, but I'm just trying to see what is the like difference between our files. Yeah, okay. No, okay, we're totally at time. I don't know why that's not working. That does not make any sense. It would 100% should work.
Okay. So let's see. But you have yours running that's on this code?
Yes, the exact same code, and it's totally working.
So probably then there's
oh,
like
here. Wait, two more.
Oh.
Go to requirements, super quick requirements. Try adding in LiveKit.agents and just regular LiveKit, and also LiveKit.plugins.openai. Why were these not in my other notes? Okay, now try running. Yeah, pip, and then, sorry. I don't know why those ones weren't there.
Okay, this is gonna work.
It's totally
and this is gonna be the most brilliant photo finish demo that we've ever done.
Please work. I'm gonna be so sad if this does not work.
No module named livekits.agent.multimodal.
What?
Did I typo something?
Multimodal
agent. Oh, did I typo this? Multimodal, is it like
it should be capital M, yes. No, wait, that one should be right. Import multimodal agent. Should be right. LiveKit.agents from LiveKit.agents. Let me see above that line. Import auto subscribe job context worker LLM blah blah blah. Maybe get rid of this. No, that should try. No. Why is LiveKit.agents? Did it not actually import?
It can't resolve this at all. Like it's not
go back to your requirements.txt. The other requirements.txt. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, LiveKit.agents. .agents. That's why. Yeah, there we go.
This is it.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. No, stop it. Did you run pip again? You did, right?
I thought I did.
I thought so too. Just in case. That looked like it did more.
Requirement already satisfied. Requirement already satisfied. There's no errors.
Nope, I don't see any errors. LiveKit.agents, LiveKit-API, LiveKit, regular LiveKit-plugin. No, .plugins.open-API. Yeah, and then OpenAPI.env and Twilio. Make sure you run a pip.
OpenAPI.env Twilio. Oh, run the pip.
What?
Does not like something. Is there like an order of operations in these?
Try putting LiveKit above. Yes, put LiveKit above LiveKit.agents. Sorry. Duh. Yes, run pip again, and then it should work. Yes, of course, because you need to make sure. What the heck? What is happening? LiveKit. Oh, but you have LiveKit API above LiveKit. Try putting that one below. Oh my God, I'm going insane. This doesn't make any sense. It should totally work. LiveKit agents, LiveKit. Your multimodals after agents. Yes, it was. Why are you not import multimodal agent? This is so frustrating.
Do you want to just copy paste your whole requirements file and
Yeah, everything is here, which you're also welcome to share. Actually, I think it's private. Nope, I just realized that's private. So, but that's the requirements. And then this is my imports. And I can make this public. Let me make this public real quick too. Then that way we can share it with people's.
Okay, so you've got LiveKit.agents. Let's just try this one more time and see if maybe.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, like, is there a way to force refresh or anything?
I mean,
like, can I?
So yeah, what we can do is, let's do this real quick. We're going to just type in deactivate. Okay, and then inside of this one, run Python 3 dash
M VM.
Yeah, VM. And then source, and we're gonna do, because it might have been, so source VM /bin/activate, and then try pip install again. Install -r requirements.txt, and then we'll try it one more time.
Now. Yeah, I wonder if maybe just the parent VM
Yeah,
is doing something weird.
Exactly, that might have been it.
Okay, and then we want Python 3. Remind me, what is it? Just the name of the file?
No, Python 3. We're doing agent.py and then dev.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God. Call the number.
We just needed a new
Call
VM.
the number.
Call the number. I'm calling the number. All right. Go back to the
recents.
recents. We're going fast. Here we go.
And then Twilio should say something.
Did you hear it go busy?
Yeah, that's weird. Why did it? Because that would be a Twilio thing.
Did somebody burn our credits?
Maybe, because Twilio should say connecting you to an agent before. So it's not a LiveKit issue because we haven't heard connecting you to an agent.
No, we still
have some.
So it says we're busy.
Under Twilio active numbers, if you click on your number again, see call logs, and let's see if incoming. Are we you're not, so we have that one.
Incoming.
Is that one? That one was from earlier.
But that was the first one, yeah.
That was the first one. So why are we not getting the
888-625-00, oops. 0086.
Twilio, what are you doing?
Okay,
if you
so we screwed something up here.
If you go under Twilio, it should still say active, right? Yeah, it still says active. Verify. Active. You don't need to verify. It's going there. Blah blah blah. I still have all of my, go to configuration. No, you don't need that. Try your TWIML bin. It should just work. Again, this has nothing to do with, what's it called? LiveKit. So try just removing SIP just in case and make, oh wait, your say, like make sure the say is happening. Yep. And just say hello. And then make sure you save that at the bottom.
Oh, I think
and let's see if that happens.
Last time. Okay, so let's go back here. We're going to call this. We're going to go into speaker mode. It won't even take the call. Let me take this out entirely.
Which that shouldn't, make sure you save. Twilio, WTF?
So
Why
it like
is-
won't let me call the number at
Why
all.
is my
So
Twilio number busy?
Don't know what I did. So I think,
Okay, this would totally work.
yeah. So unfortunately we are
I know.
like way
We're
out of
way
time. So
on.
I
Yeah,
gotta
totally. But
we did hear earlier when you called your agent how it was talking. So we know that like the component parts are in place, and we had the pre-baked turkey in the oven, thankfully, where you showed yours. So if we could figure out why this Twilio number thinks it's busy, which doesn't really, I've never had that problem before. So
I haven't, and it has
something
nothing
weird
to
is
do with
there.
LiveKit
Because now it's not. Yeah, right
not
now
even
it shouldn't even
connected.
hit. It doesn't even
Right.
attempt to hit LiveKit.
Right.
So this is something.
Yeah,
Something
why
weird is going
Twilio
on.
is Bizio is busy is weird.
Twilio
But
is
anyways,
Bizio. But so this was, I mean, even without the demo, this was still very informative, because like seeing how we do get Twilio ostensibly configured to accept a call that like goes into one of these, we can see how this would be really valuable, right? And
Yes.
how we can use this in a number of ways. Like I can think of some funny things that we could do, like making your own version of the throwback movie phone. I can think of really practical things that I could do, like if I needed to just really quickly get an idea of what my calendar's like, hey, read my calendar and tell me what I'm doing today.
Yes.
Just little things that would be really useful.
And it
So
can be
hopefully
text or
y'all who are
voice.
watching,
Yeah. So you could
hopefully
just
y'all go out
like
and make
text in the
something cool.
morning and be like what is my calendar for today? And as you saw, the Python is fairly simple. So you could imagine connecting that to any type of other services that you might create or just connect to.
Yeah. So throwing some links up on the screen here. Make sure you go and check out upcoming episodes of Learn with Jason. I've got Sarah's Blue Sky up on the screen here so that you can go and give her a follow. And I assume once you've got that blog post ready where you walk through this, you're going to have a link being shared through Blue Sky. So if you want to dig into even more detail of how we did what we did today and get to a working version, you'll be able to do that. Yep. And make sure you go and look on the website for upcoming episodes. Next week, we are going to be talking to Ada Lunde about how to use SSH for SFTP, more Python. So I got a little, it's going to be a Python heavy couple of weeks here. Yeah. Sarah, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. As always, this episode, like every episode, has been live captioned. We've had Vanessa hanging out with us. Thank you for giving us an extra few minutes, Vanessa. Really appreciate it. Vanessa's from White Coat Captioning. And again, that is made possible through your support, everybody viewing right now. So if you've got it in your wallet to give us, $5, that would mean a lot to me and the rest of everybody who's working on Code TV. Thank you all for spending a few extra minutes with us. We will see you all next time.
Thank you.